Hello, my name is Artur Rahimov, and in this video I'm going to discuss a topic related to coffee or caffeine addiction. I met this topic several times on different forums during recent months, including forums, videos, podcasts, where people from different diet movements, such as ketogenic diet, like this quite famous bulletproof coffee we use like with coconut oil, and one of the kind of items which many people use. People from carnivore world who use carnivore diet, zero carb diet, as well as doctors from paleomedicine, Hungary, like Dr. Zofia Clemens had in her podcast also discussions about coffee that she has been using, but it looks like recently we made some changes because we realized that it's probably not so useful for health, and maybe even there are some potential health problems some people can experience because it's actually plant food as well. So for strict PTD diet, possibly it's not good idea to use it. From another viewpoint, I can tell that we had many students who also asked me this question related to coffee, and also actually had my own observations for years related to coffee use by our students, those who practice breathing retraining, who try to slow down their breath and achieve better health according to the Buteyko table of health zones. So what I found in relation to coffee is that first of all it's known that actually average modern person, and if we are talking about a person who has somewhere around health level 3, because morning CP would be around 20, probably most people these days have already a little bit less than 20 seconds, like around 15, 18 seconds. And it's known from research that actually there are a lot of studies which discovered that coffee produces a positive effect on human concentration, short-term memory, reaction time. So there are various studies which tested different skills, abilities of humans, and discovered that coffee actually has a positive effect. And so this cannot be denied. So coffee still continue to help millions of people around the world. But what I discovered from breathing retraining viewpoint, I myself actually maybe had short periods of time when I used coffee, but I trained many students who used at the beginning of the training, like when we had, let's say, starting with health level 2, around 10 seconds morning CPO, health level 20, we could use sometimes 10, 20, even more cups of coffee every day. But what I discovered is that when we get up to health level 5, and this is official normal for breathing, like respiratory parameters, which corresponds to official medical norm established 100 years ago. At this level, the same people usually, in most cases, I would say we would not like effects of coffee at all. So it because the effects of the same coffee is quite interesting that a person retrain breath, slow down breathing would be about twice, because again, modern people have about 20 seconds CP, the ventilation somewhere around 12 liters per minute. There are a lot of research, you can look on the homepage of normalbreathing.org. And medical norm corresponds to 6 liters per minute, twice less ventilation for a 70 kilogram person at rest. So when people achieve medical norm, the breath slow down about 2 times, and correspondingly body oxygenation is improved. The control pose is improved about 2 times as well. We don't like coffee anymore, and commonly Buteyko norm when people achieve health level 7. So we had many practitioners, of course, and some students as well who achieved this level. I actually do not remember that at this level, with maybe rare exception, could be some people who would use maybe a cup or 2 per day, but generally we just don't like it, because what we would say that coffee makes them kind of heart is racing, they feel like kind of too agitated, too jittery. So instead of kind of waking up, what happens at lower health levels, the same coffee for the same person can produce a totally different result only because this person retrained his or her breath. And so this is kind of interesting scientific observation, and that explains that coffee addiction actually is based on our hyperventilation. Low level of carbon dioxide in the brain would play probably the major part. Low blood supply to the brain, also reduced blood supply through the carotid artery. CO2 is known, of course, as very powerful tranquilizer or sedative of the nerve cells, so it kind of makes humans more calm. And that's also probably an effect as well, because when people again hyperventilate, we need coffee for nervous stimulation, but we also need coffee to increase the feeling of energy. So we feel kind of more energized from using coffee. Whereas at high health levels, again, high levels 5, 6, 7 and higher, people just get energy because we have plenty of oxygen inside their body cells. So that's the answer to the question, like, should I use coffee or should you not? If you have quite poor health level, quite heavy breathing at rest, day and night, 24/7, coffee would be useful for you. If you like it, you can drink. And of course, there could be cases when some people maybe like it, but we are allergic to it, so we need to decide. But when students retrain their breath and we achieve better health levels, the same coffee does not produce these positive effects any longer. And so we don't stop, we don't use coffee anymore. So this is how coffee addiction can be solved, I believe, with a relatively simple tool. But of course it takes time and physical exercise and breath retraining and lifestyle changes in order to make permanent changes in one's breath pattern.